The bill to ban or divest TikTok is now in the hands of the Senate following the passage in the House this weekend. The legislation, which passed by a 360 to 58 vote, was bundled into an aid package for Ukraine, Israel, and Taiwan by Speaker Mike Johnson. Very clever, Mike Johnson. If the bill, they already passed one, but it was stuck in the Senate. But this is a slightly different bill. If the bill makes it through the Senate, President Biden has said he will sign into law. TikTok parent company ByteDance then has 270 days to sell the app, closer to a year, or face a ban. Let's talk about how it went down, because they passed one that was getting trouble in the Senate. Maria Cantwell wasn't against it. Now she's for it. ByteDance indicated it could mount a legal challenge. That's where it's going next, arguing the ban would trample free speech rights. It'll definitely go in the courts. It's won before in courts. In November, a federal judge blocked a Montana law to ban TikTok across the state. Specifically, Donald Trump's attempt to ban TikTok in 2020 was also rejected by a federal judge. It'll definitely go to the Supreme Court. And then they'll have to at least look for a buyer in case they law. But if this does become law, future bans of foreign companies and products, we've done that before. Thoughts, very clever way to get it through. And then they have to deal with the law itself.
I mean, there's so many ways you can tell you're getting older, right? The idea of a cruise does not sound horrific to me anymore. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, I actually listened the other day. Someone was talking about catheters, and I'm like, say more, because I know it's coming. And the other, I'm not exaggerating, Kara, on Saturday, I was obsessed with C-SPAN. Yeah. I mean, I might as well have been 120 fucking years old. Oh. This Saturday...
I'm just thinking of you in a catheter, but go ahead.
My dad says the guy who invented the catheter should literally get the Nobel Prize. Anyways.
Well, I can see that.
I'm sorry I got thrown off there.
Men have an easier time.
Anyway, there we go. There we go. So, God, just talking about catheters makes me want to pee. Anyways, I'm Kara. I just want to be clear. My new favorite person, or near favorite person, is Speaker Johnson.
Yeah. Oh, good heavens! He took so fucking long. But go ahead.
Okay, he's done more than anyone else. Okay. TikTok.
He delayed it and then saved
this is fantastic legislation. It'll end up being divested. Everyone's going to get their money. We're going to ensure that our young kid, that we don't raise a generation of civic, military, and nonprofit and business leaders in America that hate America. It creates more trade symmetry. It is ridiculous that this is no different than if in the 60s when we were in a Cold War with Russia, we let the Kremlin own NBC, ABC, and CBS. I am thrilled at this. And oh, wait, it got wrapped up in pushing back on a murderous autocrat. Oh, wait, and it got wrapped up in a bill to support our supreme ally in the Middle East. I just like Saturday, literally.
It is rather clever.
You got to give it to Speaker Johnson. You got to give it to, and by the way, this thing is overwhelmingly passed. We talk about how partisan the Congress has become, and this, Marjorie Taylor Greene saying we shouldn't do any of it until we talk about the border bill that Trump told her not to pass.
Moscow Marjorie, did you see that cover of the New York Post? Woohoo!
Every day, and Saturday I hated my life less than I have in a go America. Oh, let's push back on an autocrat. Oh, let's push back on a murderous terrorist groom.
All right, but it's going to go to courts, and it's going to get blocked.
100%
right? It's
no.
going to windy wine.
They're going at this from trade symmetry, executive action, divestment, not free speech. Go on, talk about your free speech bullshit. Fine. Rupert Murdoch had to become a citizen. You're not allowed to own more than 20% of a broadcast station in the U.S., but we're going to let TikTok own the frame through which
It is a broadcast network. We and I.
This will hold up.
I think it's going to a little more tough going. Okay, all right. Well, all right.
What do you
then.
think?
Okay,
I'm going on.
Scott is thrilled. I like that you're all excited watching C-SPAN. It's kind of weird with a catheter, but yes, I think it was a very clever way to do it. I thought they had a log jam in the Senate, and it was going to sit there. There are issues around Rand Paul might block it, etc., and the whole thing, but they're going to shove it past him, I think. But it may be delayed because they're supposed to vote on it like in the next 2 days. But Rand Paul or someone else might be in the way, or J.D. Vance, for example.
They chose the wrong word, saying ban. It's forced divestment, and what people don't appreciate is that there's a lot of light between a ban, divestment, and coming to some sort of accommodation with the White House. They will come back and they'll say, all right, there's so much money here. How can we figure this out? White House, can we do something? Now that we actually believe you are going to ban us, we didn't believe it before with, Joey Bag of Yahoo flatulation was trying to carve it up and give it to his political friends. We knew that wasn't going to work. We didn't think your Congress could get their act together. We didn't think that's going to work. But now that it looks like it's going to happen, hey, Joe, is there any way we can come to some sort of accommodation where you're happy and we're happy? There's a lot of things they can do to figure this out. What do you think?
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, these guys should just take their money and figure it out. The issue is who's going to get the algorithm. I think all the parts of it will be chewed over for a while. No one's getting the algorithm. What's it worth? Are you overpaying for it? It's a great brand. Will it be the same product? And my guess is already TikTok's numbers are sort of flattening a little bit compared. It's not in that explosive growth period that it was in. And so it's a real problem for them because these people tend to move on from things very easily, as you know. So we'll see.